everybody.
Yeah.
It's Michael and Marshall, the big two, but talking about the big two. We're here to talk about the big two. It's Michael and Marshall, and we're going to talk about a great thing today.
Wow,
it's going to be awesome. It's a book that I'm really excited about.
What do you think of that?
I think it's really cool. It came out a while ago, and check it out.
We're finally talking about DC Comics.
Whoa. What? But I thought we were doing Marvel
DC
Comics. Wait a second. Whoa!
That's crazy.
What the heck, dude?
That's crazy.
What's up?
A crossover event, Marshall?
Yeah.
Of the big two?
Yeah, it's the big two talking about the big two. Today we're talking about both of them at the same time, if you can even believe it. We're talking about
We never do that.
Justice League of America Avengers crossover, written by Kurt Busiek, drawn by George Pérez. More information in just a second.
Give me more.
Ready for this? You want to know who colored it?
Tell me who colored it
Tom Smith,
right
dude.
now. Tom Swift?
Tom Smith colored this book.
Tom Smith, sorry. It is very
I really, really like this book.
But before we get into it too much, I do want to ask our audience.
Ooh, smart.
Because we just hit 100 subscribers. Hey! We love seeing 100 subscribers. That's all you guys, and we love you. Oh, golly, Moses. This is great. I hope you're putting some music behind this. So what we're doing, now that we have those 100 subscribers, you guys, we're going to be doing like kind of a Q&A episode, something like that. So we'd love to hear from you. What can we talk about that would make you filled with joy? We want to fill you up with joy.
So filled for you.
So full, so filled.
Yeah.
So yes, drop something in the comments. Give us something to talk about. We're gonna do some Q&A, some back and forth with the audience.
We're talking about you, Gamma. We're talking about you, Slippin' Idiot, Dr. Doom.
I need Dr. Doom to get back in.
Everybody. We miss you.
Yes.
But let us know. If we don't get any questions, then we will do something else.
Yes.
But let us know, I don't know. Do you have questions about how we do the show, about our favorite books, about, all kinds of things? Who would win, Batman or Spider-Man? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask us all the things and we'll fight.
Let us do something that you're interested in, because we spend all our time doing stuff that we love. So we want to do stuff that you love too.
Let me be unselfish for one episode.
I'd love to see you unselfish at any point in your life.
It's never going to happen.
Got him.
Let me tell you more about this comic book, The Justice League and the Avengers. They cross over by Kurt Busiek and George Pérez.
Please do.
It's really cool. So this spun out of a long history of, a long but limited history of Marvel DC crossovers. Initially, this actually way back, the first time the companies worked together was when Marvel was going to do a adaptation of The Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
And okay.
Yeah, random.
And then DC apparently was just also going to do one.
Yeah.
And they said, oh no, this isn't good for business.
Yep.
Let's do it together. And they did. And that went really well. And that led to a few different crossovers after that. First one was the famous Superman versus Spider-Man crossover. And then that eventually led to the Hulk versus Batman, and then the Uncanny X-Men and the Teen Titans. Really good matchups, other than Hulk and Batman. I don't really understand I mean, it's just these are the two very popular characters. That seems to be the only thought there, as far as I can tell.
Should we not have done Hulk and Superman? And then Spider-Man, Batman?
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense to me.
Or Hulk and Swamp Thing. Or Batman and Captain America.
Yes.
Characters that would make more sense.
Yes.
It's like when you think, what characters would be good? What if we do Batman and Deadpool? Mm-hmm. That would be so great.
Yeah. Imagine.
Perfect matchup. Everybody wants this.
Maybe that, bearing in mind, of course, that we're reading this through a 2020s lens.
Yeah.
Whereas in the 1970s, it was, there were.
These are the most popular guys.
Audiences liked much different things back then.
Stupid things.
For good and bad reasons,
I've read those books. Maybe they're good. Yeah. They did those ones. And then in the 90s, there were the amalgam books where the characters were kind of put together. So there was Super Soldier was Captain America and Superman. Dark Claw was Wolverine and Batman. There's a lot of these different things. There was a Spider-Man Superboy one.
Yeah.
Those books are mostly nonsense. Even before that, though, there was another book that was going to happen. So they had done the Superman, Spider-Man, they've done the Hulk, Batman, they've done Teen Titans and X-Men.
Yeah.
So there's a glaring omission in that, and that's the Avengers and the Justice League, the primary teams of these universes.
Yeah.
So they started to work on that. George Pérez even was going to be the artist on that all the way back. And then just through, to make a long story short, through a kerfuffle of Marvel liked the script. They sent it over to DC. DC said, no, this isn't any good. And then it got moved back and forth and back and forth. George Pérez got the okay to start working, but then this company didn't actually give him the okay, so they got upset about that. Yeah. And then it basically just fell apart because of, inevitably you would think these two giants would not work together. Okay, bad news, our audio jank, so now you've got me explaining the story. So basically, what we were about to get into was, what the heck is this book about? Where did it come from? Why is it here? What's going on? What's the deal with all this place? Who's Captain America? We know who Captain America is. That's a joke. If you don't know who Captain America is, you can look that up on the internet. Basically, in the early 2000s, Marvel and DC commissioned Kurt Busiek and George Pérez to make a new Marvel DC crossover. George Pérez is the ideal choice for this, as he was the guy behind Crisis on Infinite Earths, behind Infinity Gauntlet. When you think of pages with 1,000 guys on them, it's George Pérez is what you're imagining. He's like the king of event books. Basically, what the story is that there is this Owen scientist who goes crazy, wants to understand the secrets of the universe, everything about it, beginning to end, whatever. So he becomes, long story short, a little cosmic being, essentially, who then starts destroying universes, entire universes, in order to understand how they come to be, what happens when they're destroyed and everything like that, but he's not quite satisfied. So he ends up making a deal with the Grand Master from the Marvel Universe. They have a contest, basically, where the Avengers are on one side and the Justice League are on the other side, and they're both going after these powerful items from their disparate universes, the Ultimate Nullifier, Psycho Pirate's mask, all these different things. If Chrono wins, then the Grand Master has to tell him about Galactus, basically, about who is this guy who survived the Big Bang that will give me finally the ultimate knowledge that I want. And if the Grand Master wins, then Chrono has to leave. The Avengers and Justice League are not aware of this larger game being played. All they know is that there's this other universe, and if they get the items from their universe, then their universe will be destroyed. So they have to go and stop these people, and the Avengers stop the Justice League stop the Avengers, and that's where it comes from. That's where it goes. It's really fun. It's really exciting. It's great seeing all these characters interact together for the first time, and we'll get further into that in the episode. So here you go. Have fun. Good luck.
Okay, so we just discovered that our audio might have been goobered.
Audio was goobered for
portion of that.
Some amount of time.
I don't know how long, so sorry ahead of time for that.
I blame Michael's fault.
It's Michael's fault.
Back into the Justice League Avenger thing.
Yes, we were talking about how much fun it is. They meet up, Superman and Captain America acting super weird, and I enjoy the heck out of that. The intrigue that comes with that. Later on, I think it's kind of hand waved as just like, oh, it's like it's a residual effect of knowing what your true universe is supposed to be like, and knowing that this isn't it, and they had them on edge, stuff like that. It was cute and fun. Captain America and Batman team up and have their own kind of side quest to figure out, like, being the
what's actually happening.
Yeah, being the smartest guys in the room. They're just like, let everybody else play their part.
Yeah.
While we go and actually, hang out in the Batcave and figure it out. Which, seeing Batman and Captain America in the Batcave
it's very good.
It
that
brings me
opening
some joy.
page of them right here.
Yeah.
That opening bit of Cap looking at Jason's costume.
Yeah.
And realizing just that this guy is human, that this guy is a person like him, that he's not a ultra villain or anything like that. Like, this gives that shared loss makes him suddenly trust him more than he did previously.
Yeah, certainly.
And it's such a clever connection that I never even thought of. Like, that never occurred to me.
Totally. Yeah, thinking about their lost sidekicks and things like that.
I was really impressed to the degree that the characters involved are all speaking very in character.
Yes.
Like, it could be so easy in something like this to have one person be like obviously a villain, or one person is acting really out of character for one reason or another. And they kind of do that with Cap and Superman, but they explain that away with them like being the leaders of these things. And like you said, like having this in the back of their mind, kind of the chronal time thing happening that's like janking their heads. But other than that, like everybody's voices are super down pat. Like Batman is the strategist, even at the very beginning when they're fighting the big robot. Batman is like kind of standing in the back and like watching. And then as soon as he figures out this is what we need to do, he's like, okay, Jean, mental link, you do this, go, go, go. Yeah. And like Wally's voice is really good. Kyle is that, like all of these characters are so well written in a way that is so like consistently to me so surprising, because usually when you get a big crossover book, even within its own universe, you get somebody who's just acting out of character in order to serve the plot. Yeah. Like Iron Man in Civil War. It just turns into a villain out of nowhere, basically. Sure. And just becomes super evil and ridiculous. All this different stuff, all the different crossovers. The plot needs to happen, so this guy is going to do this thing, even if it is not in character for that guy. That does not happen in this. It's delightful that everybody, like things proceed as they would if these characters were interacting. If Captain America was talking to Superman, if, you know, Thor was talking to Aquaman, these kind of like kingly type characters and stuff like that. It's very good.
Vision and Martian Manhunter. You get these fun pairings that like every kid I feel like has talked about, like, oh, if you know, if Martian Manhunter and the Vision met and they have kind of the same powers, who would win? It's like you get that here, and it's so cute. And it's like it doesn't feel like it has any cop outs either. That you might go like, oh, everybody comes to a stalemate. No, that's lame and not fun.
Sure.
Like, and I did even find it funny that they kind of do take sides in certain ways, like the DC characters acknowledge, oh, these, like the characters from the Marvel universe, they're like considerably less powerful than we are.
Yeah, this universe is a disaster.
Yes, yeah.
That's one of the most interesting things to me is how well it shows the contrast between these two universes in a way that you might not have thought about previously. Yeah. Because you read a Superman comic, a DC comic, and you're just like, yep, that's Metropolis, this is whatever. And then you read a Marvel comic and you're in New York and there's aliens or whatever. Yeah. But they are so different. When you try to put them together, the power scaling is crazy.
Totally.
I mean, even this first image of them finally meeting each other.
Yes, I noticed this too. Yeah,
they're all standing on the roof.
Yes.
Because they're mostly dudes.
Yeah.
And then the gods fly over.
Mostly dudes.
You know?
Yeah, you're so right.
You know, you've got science experiment, scientist.
Yeah.
Guy with arrows, fast guy.
Yeah.
Magic woman, robot,
3 of the 7 of them can actually fly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got space alien, space police, Atlantean king, god, and then a guy, like a few regular-ish people.
A plastic man with his little gun. It's so cute.
I know, it's so fun.
I love any panel he is in. I have a grand old time with.
He's very in character in this too. He's kind of a Deadpool-esque character where he can kind of turn into like just a edgy self-insert, and I don't see that in this at all.
Very much.
Very good.
Yeah. I hear Jim Carrey when I read him. I don't know about you.
Interesting.
Do you feel the same way?
No, I never thought about it, but
really?
Maybe.
He's kind of got Jim Carrey's got the rubber face, famously.
Oh, famous rubber face.
You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know why I said it like that. But the contrast between these two worlds is really interesting in the way that like they very clearly show when they're first investigating all this stuff, Flash goes into this other universe. Yeah. He was in Keystone City. And then because these fictional cities don't exist in the Marvel universe, he arrives and he's in some like sleepy Mayberry type place. And he looks over and he sees a mutant coming at him.
Yeah. What timing?
Like, and he's like, oh, what's going on here? And of course the bigoted evil mob is coming after the mutant. And Flash is like, hey guys, like, chill out. What's the deal? And the mob immediately is like, you're one of them too.
This one kind of looks like you a little bit.
Hey, man.
That one kind of looks like me a little bit.
That one?
Yeah.
Interesting. That one kind of looks like Philip Seymour Hoffman a little bit.
Oh, Phil.
Close enough. But these guys get like freaked out, and Flash says, they're not very friendly. Don't worry, kid. I'll get you out of this. Who are you? Oh, right. Forgot.
That's great.
Has no idea who anybody is. Yeah. And then he tries to run, And he can't.
Yeah.
Because there's no Speed Force
Yeah.
in the Marvel Universe.
Which the only reason I don't like how this plays out is because like a few pages later, he just blinks, or maybe it's even at the start of the second issue.
Yeah,
he
well,
just blinks
it's in
back
the
to
next
his proper
page.
universe.
It's the next page.
Yeah.
He says something about how, like, because there's no Speed Force, the powers that got him there didn't exist, so it kind of just slowly reversed.
Just blinked him back.
Yeah.
I was like, that's less fun.
But then
okay.
they give him like a jacket that lets him get some Speed Force energy, like Superman with a solar powered
jacket.
thing on a red sun or something.
Yeah, sure.
It's great. So you get this moment, right, where you're seeing how this is just terrible.
Yeah.
And there's even a page later on. Do I have that? Yeah, right here, where the Justice League has gone into the Marvel Universe and they say, okay, quick, reconnaissance, run around. And you see, a despot running things with fear, the destruction of Genosha, Hulk just running mad, and then the Punisher killing drug pushers, which Batman then intervenes, which is hilarious.
Takes
Beats up the
control of
Punisher. I wish I could have seen that, but it's
Yeah.
kind of funnier that it happens off screen.
Yeah.
And
Superman
Superman then,
that side issue,
yeah, Superman then is like, this place is a freaking mess.
Yeah.
Like, if this is what they have to offer, I'm not super impressed. Yeah. And then you get the offside of that, where the I've got it somewhere here again.
Yeah. Where the Marvel characters show up in the DC world.
Yeah, the Marvel characters show up in Metropolis and they're like, whoa, this place looks like it's the future.
Yeah.
This is nuts. And then a gang comes out and they beat them up and they're like, okay, the police will handle this. We better get moving. And then people are like, whoa, dude, that was awesome. Can I get your autograph?
Yeah.
Like, sure. Like, you don't think about how intense that contrast is. And I was reading Crisis on Infinite Earths recently, also drawn by George Pérez. And it's interesting how like that book is so much an editorial mandate more than it is a story, where like because of the difference in these universes, Marvel was so simple and DC was so complicated. Yes. Because they had this long history from even pre-superheroes, before Superman and then onwards. They've got soldiers, they've got knights in shining armor, they've got like space people, like all these different things, cowboys and Indians, whatever.
Yeah. Classic detectives. Even.
Yeah. And all of it is canon.
Yes.
So how the heck do you fit all of that in?
Yep.
Not to mention you've got the Justice League of America, which is on one Earth. You've got the Justice Society, who at that point are on a different Earth with Jay Garrick and the metal mask guy. What's his name? Dr. Fate.
Yes. Yeah.
All these different things. It's just a mess. So Crisis on Infinite Earths was just their way of like shunting that all down into one thing. But you still, even in this point in 2001, you get that impression of like, this is the era these characters came from, of this early time of superheroes when they were much more godlike and they were much more magical and everything like that, compared to the Marvel heroes, which came out of the 60s in the space race, where we're all scientists and science experiments and stuff like that. And it's so different just seeing them in the Marvel universe doing their technology stuff. And over here, they're on the watchtower looking down on the earth. And like, it's
a crazy,
incredible.
like juxtaposition, right?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of those things you mentioned are why it's really good that this didn't happen in 1972 when they first tried to take a shot at it, because that's before the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's before Secret Wars, which is kind of, kind of this sort of Marvel's version. That's oversimplification, I know, but they're similar events that came between their initial effort to make a crossover and when this actually came out. And I think this is so much better for it. I heard Comic Pop talking about this, another great YouTuber, and he mentioned this was like kind of the punctuation at the end of the comic book experience of the 20th century. And I was like, I kind of like that.
It puts a kind of a cap on the Bronze Age a little bit and comes into the plastic.
Yeah.
If that's what, I think that's what they call the modern.
Is it?
Most modern books, yeah.
I don't mind that.
You got gold, silver, bronze, and then plastic.
Yeah. It's just a little bit. Yeah. But I just like the thought that it's like, okay, this is kind of this regathering or regrouping of here's where the medium has come. Here's the two industry leaders cooperating finally, like properly cooperating with all their flagship, like premier characters and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I like what that represents as far as the progression of the medium.
And they do a really good job of including a lot of that history as well.
Yeah.
Just like the the story device of the chronal shifting allows them to put a lot of characters in there that would not otherwise have been in the story. Like you start out with the current era at the time, Justice League and Avengers. But throughout the story, the time shifting makes it so like it's not Kyle anymore, now it's Hal.
Yeah.
Even though at that point, Hal became Parallax and then became the Spectre.
Yeah.
And all these different things back and forth. The same thing, you get like different versions of the Avengers, different Avengers pop in at different times. There's like, when you get into the final issue of this in that big, it's just one long fight.
Yes.
And it's a feast of like tiny little cameos.
Yeah.
It's crazy the amount of characters that George Pérez snuck in there for just a single panel that are completely random and out of nowhere, like really obscure stuff sometimes. And even then, like all the interactions make sense. They make time to have fun little moments. It really reminds me of Endgame.
Yes.
In the way that all of these characters are coming together, interacting in fun ways, having their little moments on the battlefield while the big stuff is happening. One of my favorites is, I can't remember who it is, but somebody at one point yells, Captain Marvel, watch out.
Yeah.
And then Shazam and Marvel both turn and like Marvel punches Black Adam and Shazam punches Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
that's
cute.
very clever.
That's what you always want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, how many characters are there like that that have that shared name? Like that's such a clever thing.
Yes.
That would be such a missed opportunity not to do something. Like you don't have to comment on it on any big way, but you just hang a lantern on it really quick.
Yes.
And
That's
just
a great
say,
way
here's
to
a fun
put it.
thing.
Absolutely. And it doesn't ask you, it doesn't like needlessly ask you to turn your brain off. Either.
No.
Like so many things, so many like low quality things kind of come with this tag of like, oh, it's fun if you turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Or it's fun if you don't think about it kind of thing.
Sure.
This, it's like, it's fun because you can turn your brain off and kind of just enjoy it and live in it. You know what I mean?
I mean, but for me, I think it's fun because if you know all of this deep lore and history, you're honored in that. Like in a way that, again, like I keep saying, this book was surprising me over and over and over again with the way that like there were so many tiny little nods to things that weren't even just like cheap fan service things. They just made sense for the character. There's a point in this where it looks like Barry Allen has been evaporated and that makes Hal go nuts. So for half a second, Hal turns back into Parallax and then it turns into Kyle after that again.
Yeah.
And that's a fun, clever thing to do, but it also makes sense and is what would happen. Yes. It's not like watching some of the superhero movies that nowadays, and you throw a thing in there that is like completely separate from what's happening over here. And it's funny and it's cool, but it's kind of just distracting and doesn't really mesh with what's going on here. There's so many moments in this like that, but none of them feel out of place.
Totally.
It's so impressively well done.
Yes. Yeah. Extremely like, finished. It gives the sense of a finished product for sure. Whereas some things, you know, you feel like there's more to the story. They'll leave you hanging or they'll leave you on for the next big crossover event. This is just its own little thing. And sure, there's context that you need.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there would like, we've talked before about how we, to some degree, we enjoy books that you don't have to do a lot of homework to get into.
Sure.
There's some homework here because these are both like franchises that have been running for forever and ever.
Yeah, and they're bringing in obscure characters. Your best friend, the Phantom Stranger, shows up.
My best friend and my boy. Yes, 100%. and do you feel like there's more that you need to come about to understand? Do you think that there's too much, or do you think there's the right amount of that here?
I think it is exactly what it's supposed to be, and I think that the readers that this is intended for will get it exactly how they need to. Like you would never give this to someone as their first comic book.
Correct.
It would be confusing and make no sense.
Yeah.
If only because these are two separate companies and universes, and you would be like, when are they going to meet up again?
Right.
When's that going to happen?
Yeah. How about 2025?
Yeah, right. Like in issue 3, when they're in this like amalgam universe a little bit, that would be confusing because you don't get the context of what's happening are mixed up flashbacks.
Yeah.
These are not, if you don't know that, then you would say like, oh yeah, there's the time that they met in another universe when that thing happened. or when that thing happened or whatever.
Yeah.
But even you can clearly see like that's a really fun moment in there. So in issue 3, something cataclysmic has maybe happened in the previous issue. They've all put their willpower towards stopping Krona, and then issue 3 opens up with seemingly. I was like, did I miss something? Because it felt like when you're reading an ongoing crossover event and there's a tie-in book and you didn't read the tie-in, and now you get over here and you're like, oh, is there an extra thing somewhere? Yeah. But no, you're supposed to be confused because now they're in this weird amalgam universe that's a collection of both things pushed together, because what's happening now is that these universes are colliding. So their histories are intertwined. There's this great moment here where they start talking about like, oh, all the adventures we've had in our different dimensions when we've crossed over with each other. And they see this picture on the wall. You've got the Avengers down here holding hands, doing a seance. And then up there, you've got the Justice League. That is a recreation of Justice League of America number 21, which is when they met the Justice Society.
So good.
So the idea here being that in this universe, the Avengers are like the Justice League and they're like the Justice Society, all that different stuff. If you don't know those things, if you don't get that like quick little reference, you're probably fine.
Yeah, you're still good on reading it, yeah.
But it's fun to be able to see like, oh yeah, I recognize that cover. I recognize that thing. I recognize what's happening here. They even, in that thing, they reference here, they're at this party, they reference a few different, like, don't you remember when we did this thing or that thing? And within that is this. You remember when we fought Kang and Lord of Time?
Yeah.
That is the original idea for the story back in, like, way back.
Yeah, when they scrapped the Wizard of Oz idea, they moved to this and tried it for a minute.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Very clever little insert there.
Yep.
What do you think of George Pérez?
I like the way George Pérez does things.
Give me 3 reasons.
Lines.
Okay.
Color. No, not colors. I can't do colors, can I? Lines.
1.
Jacked.
2.
Everybody.
Right.
Hero shots. Big, like, I like his... He just does some of that's rad. I was even thinking more the ensemble shots, but yes, you're 100% right. Like look at these guys. Sorry, these guys. That they look great. That's a great one too, where it's like, oh no, Darkseid got the Infinity Gauntlet. It doesn't work.
Yeah, which I don't know when they introduced the concept of that, because I know like when you get into Hickman's Fantastic Four run.
Oh yeah,
that's a thing where like all of the Reeds have their Infinity Gauntlet from their universe, but it only works in their universe. Yeah. So it was kind of cool to see that was a consistent thing all the way back into the early 2000s. I'd be curious to see when that rule
maybe it
was introduced.
I don't know. This could have been it.
Yeah, I mean, because how often was the Marvel universe jumping around into different multiversal things?
Right.
The Ultimate Universe would have just been starting up at that point. And outside of that, how much multiverse stuff was Marvel doing?
I mean, maybe in Secret Wars they figured that stuff out, because that was, of course, that was kind of their.
But the Secret War wasn't a multiverse, though. It was still in that one universe. It was just the Battle World was a bunch of different worlds all put onto one thing.
Yeah.
The Hickman Secret War.
No, you're right.
Was a kind of multiversal thing.
I conflate those all too often.
You silly guy.
It's like they're two worlds that just overlap each other.
Yeah.
I would absolutely read this again, and it definitely makes me want to read the new crossover as well. I'm excited for that.
We'll see. I don't know.
Oh, you sound skeptical.
I don't know. The first issue was kind of whatever. I mean, Zeb Wells isn't great. I'm really interested to see what the Grant Morrison Dan Mora one is.
Yeah.
Because Dan Mora's art's fantastic. I really love Greg Capullo, but with without FCO's colors, that is. His stuff just is not working the same. Alex Sinclair, who did the colors on that one, has been coloring a lot of his stuff lately since FCO and Capullo fell out. It just doesn't fit his lines. And when you put Zeb Wells' okay words with, middling colors on really good art, it just doesn't gel.
Sure.
So I'm really curious to see what Grant Morrison, one of the great all-time writers, does with that when then combined with Dan Mora. We'll see. They had said that they had never really read any Deadpool books. So
That doesn't feel right.
yeah.
That makes me feel like they're just going off the Ryan Reynolds films, and that doesn't.
I mean,
I hope they didn't do
Morrison
that.
specifically said that.
No, did he really? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sad. That's a real bummer because those films are not anywhere near as fun, I think, as the comic book. Deadpool has
Yeah,
always been.
I don't know. I feel like Deadpool's a weird character where his best stuff is both in the movies and non-existent.
Yes.
Where like so much, like you can look at Deadpool and say like, well, the movies are kind of whatever, but the comics are really good. And I don't know if that's true. I really think that he's one of those like edgy Spawn type characters a little bit that came out of the 90s that just never really has fully delivered on his promise. I know a lot of people love Deadpool. I just don't get it.
We should talk Deadpool one of these days.
I'd read
Let
a
us
few
know
Deadpool
if you want to talk
comics.
Deadpool.
Yeah, let us know. I mean, what Deadpool comics should we read? What are the? I'm the hater over here.
Yes.
Tell me what are the Deadpool comics I should read, and I'll read them. So I don't know. Maybe this one will be good. Maybe it won't. I'll read it, and I'm gonna start doing some videos. I mean, I think talking about modern comics, I'll probably do most of that. Talking at the camera at the old home office. So if
You
I
love
have
talking
stuff
at
to
the
say about that, then I will. I will do it, and then you can hear me be frustrated about that.
Got anything else on this dang old comic book?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to go back into it, man. Like, there's so many little cameos. I want to like spend so much time reading this thing. It's really fun. I really, really like it at all. I really, really like it at all.
That's the last word you've got on this.
That's the last word that I know how to say.
I want to hear from the audience, especially on if they've read this, if they've read any of the other, like other crossover stuff, whether the old stuff or the brand new ones.
Yeah, if you'd like to hear us talk about any of those books, like let us know. We almost did like do the Superman and Spider-Man one, and then we thought that maybe this one would be a better option.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. We should make note also, George Pérez passed away a few years ago of cancer. It was an interesting thing where like they let people know way ahead of time, where a lot of times, people want to fight that battle in private and that's their choice. And I respect that absolutely. But Pérez and his family let people know, and it became this long time of people just honoring him and praising him and loving him. And it was a really nice thing to see.
Yeah.
Because he's one of these people in the industry who was just universally loved.
Mm-hmm.
He was a really, really nice guy. He was a fantastic artist. He redefined Wonder Woman for a new generation at the same time that John Byrne was kind of janking up Superman and turning him into a cop. At the same time as Frank Miller was doing Year One, they also relaunched Wonder Woman, and that was done by George Pérez. And that's kind of one of the definitive runs on the character. Mm-hmm. Just a great guy. So many pictures of him at conventions holding people in Supergirl cosplays, like the cover of Infinite Earths.
Yep.
With all the characters around, like doing that famous cover of Dead Supergirl. Just the sweetest dude. They reprinted this book in a collected edition in 2022 and donated like all of those proceeds to charity in honor of him. Hard to find one of those. I was looking for a physical copy of this book and I could only find the original 4 issues. And they're not that expensive. It's like $50 for all 4 of them. I don't know how quality they are. But yeah, George Pérez is a really great guy. Kurt Busiek, one of the great writers as well. Fantastic creative team. Really good book.
Great duo for sure.
That's what we have to say about that. Hey everybody, this has been Tales from the Comic Box. We welcome you back to the Comic Box, and it's been a good time having you here in the Comic Box. Thanks for being here. I draw pretty pictures. There are Spider-Man and other things. Here's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom.
Marshall's always a different person. Oh, and I do poetry. Here's my book, Marauders. Please buy copies of that. You support my art really well, and that when you buy copies, it allows me to continue making more of that art.
Thanks everybody for being here. Next week we are maybe doing a Q&A. If you send us questions, let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yes, please.
If you have ideas, just tell us like what books, by the way, would you like to hear us talk about. I know Sleeping Idiot suggested that one Batman book that I can't remember the name of right now. It's not No Man's Land. It's a different one.
That one.
Yeah, maybe we could talk about that at some point. I don't know.
Slipping Idiot. Comment it again.
Comment it again. Let us
we
know
forgot.
because we can't. There's no way to possibly go back on that video and see the comments.
I can't think of a way.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
They haven't figured it out yet.
I really want YouTube to do that.
Yeah, call the CEO of YouTube and say, can you please do that?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mr. Zuck, you don't own this company, but can you please go on my YouTube comments and tell me,
Please,
what did
Mr.
Sleeping Idiot
Zuckerberg.
say? And that's the end of the show. Thanks everybody for being here. We appreciate your presence. That's it.
Keep reading comics. We
Good
love
luck.
you.
Oh, darn it.
Keep reading comics.
Good luck.
We love you.
Good
We
luck.
love you.
Good luck.